There are 3 steps to getting away from the casinos, from gambling. What we need to do if you want to stop as well, and this is what I have done. This is what thousands of other people before me have done as well. You know, one of the first things that we need to do is we absolutely have to get brutally honest. Yep. That's one of the main ones right there, right? Because as a gambler, you know as well as I do, we got plenty of lies to tell the family, to tell the wife, to tell the kids, tell the boss, and everybody else. Because guess what? We become pretty good at lying to different people over and over. It gets to the point where we believe our own lies. We have to cover up the lies. Why do we do that? Why is it so tough to do the right thing, say the right thing, to be truthful, be honest? You know, there's because, believe it or not, gambling is very intoxicating. Very intoxicating. The dopamine that you get from playing the slots, the tables, or gambling in general is very addictive. Very addictive, to say the least. You know, we start out with freedoms, our freedom, when we start off, and we end up in chains. That's the first one, getting brutally honest. When I told my wife the amount of money that I had lost, I started gambling back in, I'm gonna say 2009, started 2009. That 2025, that's what, 16 years? I lost tens of thousands of dollars, and unlike drinking or doing drugs, you don't notice. You can hide gambling very, very easily. There's no smell, there's no scent, there's no stumbling, there's no stuttering. We have plenty of gamblers out there, hidden, till it finally catches up to them like it did me. That's the first one. You know, it's just crazy, because even when we win, the symptoms continue. The fear, the stress, the tension, the anxiety, the high blood pressure, the lack of control continues. Even when we win big. Why? Because there's that fear that I'm gonna go blow that. I'm not leaving, first of all. I'm staying at a casino. Now I got house money to play with, right? Yeah, and so that fear is there. And you guessed it, by the end of the night, all of that money that you won, and then some, because you'll go take more money out, either at the cage or the ATM. Which is crazy, very crazy. Number 2, that's one. Number 2 is we have to seek help. Absolutely got to go out there and reach out for help. You know, that's very humbling when we say, hey, I surrender. I need help. I can't do it without. Well, who do we got to help, Pete? Well, first of all, there's Gamblers Anonymous. These guys been around since 1957. 2 men got together in the LA area, Los Angeles, and said, hey, you know what? They started talking about their own gambling problems, their addiction, the fear, the shame that they had. They got together, they were meeting together, and that's where it started. 1957, so help is out there. That's not enough? Okay, great. You know what? Back then when they started, they needed to physically be at a meeting. Today, you know, we have all the social media that we have at our disposal. You know, we can go to Zoom meetings. They have Zoom meetings 24 hours a day for gamblers like myself, like yourself. Definitely seek out for help. You know, we have people that are out there waiting for us to seek help. You know, I'm reaching out for help. I attended my first Gamblers Anonymous meeting last Friday. You know, remember that I'm new at this. This is my 24th day of not gambling. And some of you have been following my story. not gambling, not smoking, and not drinking for 24 days. You know, what gives me the authority to be teaching about this? It's not authority. There's no authority here. What gives me the right? There's no right. But I tell you what I do have. I have 24 days more than the other person that's sitting right now at the casino wasting his money. I've got 24 days above the guy, the young person that's betting online with his cell phone. I got 24 days on the gal that is buying the lottery ticket right now, thinking she's gonna win the big one. Yeah, that's what I have. I have the privilege of having 24 days under my belt, sober, lungs are clear of smoke, and I haven't placed a bet in those 24 days. Gambling is a monster. You know, if we feed it, you know, it just grows. Let's put it this way, it's a monster, but when it was small, our first bet, let's say our first bet, the monster was small, and we fed it. Say it's a big gorilla if you want, or monster. It's up to you, what creature you want to put in the way. You know, you remember the Gremlins movie? There was a cute little gremlin. I think his name was Gizmo. Kind of dating myself, that goes back a few years. You know, he was friendly, he was cute. Well, that's kind of where this monster is, you know. He's cute at the beginning. Harmless, you fed it, you've played your first time, but every time we gamble, we're feeding this monster more, and more, and eventually, you remember the Gremlins? That little guy had no problems going back in his box when he was small, when he was friendly. Well, so is this monster, this gorilla. He's friendly, you can put him back in the box, but once years later, as we continue to gamble, this monster grew, this gorilla grew. Now he don't want to go back in the cage. And guess what? You're not strong enough to put him in there. I'm not strong enough to put him in there. That's where the problem is. We are drawn to that. You know, we are powerless over that first bet. We are drawn to casinos, to gambling, to the tables, to the slots, like the bugs coming straight at your headlights on your vehicle. All for what? For that fix of dopamine, which cost us thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. So what's number 3, Pete? Having limited access to your bank account. Have somebody that you love, that you trust. Give them your cards. Give them your debit, your credit cards. You know, relinquish your cards if you have to. Say, I can't no more. Seek professional help, you know. Limit, you can also ban yourself from casinos, which may or may not work, but there's different ways, you know. Just give all that away. That's number 3. Why? Because we want to recover from this disease. Oh yeah, it's a disease. Absolutely, it's a sickness. It's definitely a sickness, you know, that we can't control on our own. Think about it. In my 16 years, at least, minimum of 16 years, I have spent tens of thousands of dollars in search for that dopamine hit, that next, I'm going to hit the big one. Even if I win, even if I had won, I could never make up for all that money that I have lost, nor can you. Tens of thousands, Pete, that's chump change compared to the one. That's right, but for me, that was a lot of money, is a lot of money. I know that some of you have gone a lot deeper. Some of you have lost homes, relationships, wives, husbands, kids, wound up in jail. The list goes on, all for gambling. Yeah, seek some help, you know. Well, yeah, what happens if I relapse? Because I've relapsed before. Well, you got 2 choices if you relapse. 1, you keep gambling, lose more money. Or 2, you seek professional help. There are therapists out there. There's counselors, there's psychiatrists, people that professionally can help you. Get into our mind and help us out there. Here's the crazy statistics. And I can't prove it, but there's some truth to it, I think. They say up to 90% of all gamblers relapse. when they're recovering. 90%. Say 80, say 70%. Who cares? That's a big number. So don't be too hard on yourself if you relapse, you know. Forgive yourself and seek the root cause why you went back to the casino, why you went back to gambling. You know, what's internally happening, you know. What were the triggers? What caused you? Was it, you know, a moment of anger, a moment of anguish? You know, I just got weak, whatever the case may be. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. Pick yourself back up, go seek some help. Us being gambling free is what we're after. We don't want to live there any longer, obviously, but it's not easy to stop. Believe me, it's not easy. Do whatever it takes to avoid the costly setbacks. You know, but don't ever give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm sharing my story, my testimony. I'm exposing my underbelly to whoever's listening. 5, 10,000, 10,000, heck, the country. It doesn't matter. Do I hold the position in society that requires a certain reputation, certain respect, and certain demeanor of my conduct and behavior? Absolutely, absolutely. But guess what? I understand that today I have a sickness, and it's more important. If I don't control it, all will be lost anyways. Don't ever give up, and let's live a fulfilling life from this point forward. Hey, you know, life gets better. I put the booze down, put the cigarettes down. I'm walking now. I feel healthier than I've ever felt, and join me. You know, I've got people that are already talking to me. They're already commenting. They're giving me the thumbs up. They're subscribing, and they're supporting me 100%. You that have time, more than 24 days, gambling free, you know, comment. Help me. Help me help others. Hopefully others will see this video. Y'all give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm covering. Subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next day. I will keep walking. I will keep making videos. You all have a blessed day. God willing, we don't ever have to go touch another casino again. I'm going to leave you with a one-liner for today. Aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll fall amongst the stars. Over.